This is Power Automate. So what you're looking at right here is the Power Automation screen that you can use to go ahead and build the automations that you have. So at the top, all we're being asked to do is describe the automation that we want. So we have recorded this typing, so because one thing I cannot do is talk and type at the same time, it's just impossible. But effectively, what we're going into this prompt to say is go and build me an automation that will take a file, an invoice file, as an input. It's then going to use AI to read the invoice and extract key information from it. We're not saying it's this row or this field or this information. We're saying, based on your understanding, go and get the key information that I need. Once you've done that, then go over Talk to C2, via the C2 connector into Power Automate, create a queue item with the extracted data. So what we can then do is use that C2 queue item to kick off any other automation you've got in any other platform that's plugged into C2. We can also use this to run everything end to end, but this is very much around how do we help you collaboratively think about, I've got existing automation, maybe I want to start to introduce Power Platform, Power Automate into this landscape. We can do that in parallel via the C2 platform with everything you have today. This doesn't have to be big bang, doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can move over incrementally using that orchestration layer. So I've written out my prompt. That's going to go off to the model. Copilot's going to take all the information we've given it, very simple prompt, and it is going to build us out a template. It's going to say, this is what I think you mean based on that prompt. So that comes back relatively quickly, and what we can see is that it said, well, the first thing we're going to need is a trigger. So in this case, it's assuming we're going to hit a button to run that trigger. For the purposes of the demo, we're going to leave it at a button, but that could be anything else. That could be when an email arrives. It could be when a back office system updates. It could be anything you want it to be. And then when we're thinking about autonomous agents, it can be multiple triggers. It doesn't have to be just one. So as soon as that trigger happens, in this case, when that button's pressed, it's going to go and do some stuff, right? And the stuff it's going to do initially is go and extract that information from the invoice. It's going to do that using something called AI Builder. So this is a tool that we have within the platform that enables you to use your own AI modeling, but do it super quick. So back in the day, it would cost you $1 million and 6 months of POC to build an AI model to extract invoice data. You now just need like 20. Just feed that model 20 invoices. It will figure out where the key information is, what kind of language you use, how you want it to work. Once you've trained that model with those 20 invoices, you're good to go. You can run it across all these automations as many times as you want. Once it's extracted the information from the invoice, it's then going to go and pass a response. So it's going to pull the data out of the invoice as a JSON payload, and then it's going to pass it into C2. So we're going to see that then land in the C2 queue. So that's what we're going to get it to do. Keep everything crossed, folks. What we'll see in just a moment as this spins up is we'll see the step-by-step automation that Copilot's built. So again, within here, we can see all the steps that we're going through. If I want to change it, if I wanted to go update it, add an extra conditional loop, change how that behaves, I can do that through clicking in any of these steps, or I can use Copilot again to go and update it and change it. And just to show that this is real, what I'm going to do, and when we go into the create the queue item, we're going to give it a name when it hits C2. So let's just call this Thursday. So I can then save that automation. And then we can hit test. So I'm going to manually trigger it, and I'm going to give it an invoice. That's the invoice we're going to feed it. So very simple, very straightforward, but no specifics around how to go ahead and extract it. I'm going to choose that invoice, which is just called sample. And we're going to run that flow. So in the background, what's now happening is that invoice is being taken in by Power Automate. It's being reviewed and ingested by the AI model. All of that data is extracted, all of that key information that we need to go and update our finance system to drive the automation out of C2, all of that's being pulled out. And then what we can then do is check how it's running. So we can see that immediately clicked on, took 19 seconds to extract the information, 3 seconds to pass it, and then less than 1 second to pass it into the C2 queue. And then if we go into C2, give that a refresh, we'll then see that the information we need has then landed in that queue item. What queue am I going through? MS Demo. So in that queue item, we can then see the Thursday invoice that we've extracted with AI, that we've passed, that we've done entirely using natural language, no code, no specific automation skills, is now sitting in the C2 queue, ready to be picked up by whatever bot you want then to go and do something with it. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a sense of how easy it is to build this stuff out. Back to that scale piece, right? How do we enable this for our teams to go and do these automations quicker, faster, more powerfully?